All right. So, hello, Anton. Our client is a major commercial bank in Mexico, and despite the fact that the bank has experienced increased revenue growth for the past 2 years, its profits have declined and even become negative. You have a meeting with the CEO of the bank in a week, and you have to come up with answers to two questions. What is the main cause of this decline in profits? And what can we do to restore the bank's profitability?
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Just to confirm, our client is a major bank in Mexico, and they've seen revenue growth in the past few years, but still their profits are going down and have even become negative. And they want to know what the main cause of the decline in profits is and what they can do about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so thank you. Can I have a moment to consider the situation?
All right.
Okay, so the profits are going down, and to see why, but the revenues are increasing, and so since profits are revenues minus costs, I would like to look into the costs, and more specifically, I would want to look into that in terms of fixed and variable costs, and how those costs developed. And depending on the outcome, I would potentially want to look into how those costs compare with the company's historical costs and the cost structure in the industry.
Okay. Would you want to look at the competitors as well, or are you including competitors, or not at all?
Yes, depending on the outcome, I think it would be potentially interesting to look at competitors' cost structure and compare to our clients.
All right, let's just start with that then. I can provide you with some information. So we are the only one who are experiencing the decline in profits, or like severe declines. Other banks experiencing like a smaller decline, but it's been very moderate, so that still allows them to keep the profit, whereas we are actually in loss. And we are a major player in the industry, owning 20% of the market share. And there are three other major national competitors with similar market shares and many smaller regional competitors. Does that tell you something, or what does this tell you?
Yeah. Okay. So that tells me that the decline in profit is company specific, and so then I would want to look into the fixed and variable costs of the company and how those developed, and digging deeper, I would want to look into the cost of this cost development. So do we have any indication of whether it's a fixed or variable costs that have increased in recent years?
Yeah, we have some information on that. And the one I can provide is that the bank makes money in two main ways. First one is interest income and fee, or like the first one is interest income, and the second one is fee income. And our client has about 70% of its revenues coming from interest and the remaining 30% coming from fees. However, I would like to look at the following graph and analyze it for me. Our client currently has 8 million customers. Yeah, so I'll just 1 second before I'll show you this graph. If I can find it. Actually, I'll just show you the graph right here. So that's the graph. Do you think you can analyze it for me?
Okay, so here we have the average revenue per customer and the average cost per customer. Okay, so the revenue per customer as a function of the number of customers. So I suppose this is if since our clients' profits are negative, this graph would indicate that a potential problem would be that they have lost number of customers, that they have fewer customers. That they are losing customers.
Mm-hmm. And I think the reality actually is that they have right now 8 million customers. So maybe couldn't it be the case that they have more customers, but the average revenue per customer is smaller?
Oh yeah, sorry, that's true. So with increasing number of customers, so what this graph tells me is that with increasing number of customers, the average revenue per customer is actually decreasing. And with 8 million customers, they are even losing money on the average customer. And the break-even number of customers are 5 million. So is it the case that they have that they are growing and have more customers now, and that could be the source of the growing costs?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Is there then anything you would want to look into?
Yes. I would want to look into firstly if their number of customers have increased recently, and then I would want to look into what kind of customers it is that the company has recently acquired. Maybe they moved into less profitable market segment, or customers that don't fit with their business model that well, and thus they're making less money from each customer.
Yeah, that's great and very accurate as well. So basically, due to the increased incentive structure, which rewarded new customer acquisition, brand managers have added customers that were not as profitable as the initial ones. Then, in addition, the bank has aggressively expanded its branch structure and has increased the number of tellers to accommodate the increased number of customers. What should the bank do?
Okay, so the problem at heart is that they have acquired more, less profitable customers. Do these customers pay less, or do they impose more costs on the bank?
So it's both, as I've mentioned. Basically, instead of typical white collar customers, they started signing up like blue collar customers, workers, construction workers that of course don't have that much capital to use, and therefore the bank makes less profit in those customers. And secondly, because of this rapid acquisition of customers, they need to employ more tellers and create new branches, which spiked up the costs.
Okay, and these costs, are they durable? Will they stay, or were there only initial costs for starting the branch?
No, they're durable. The bank's currently experiencing loss.
Okay. Okay, so then relating to the initial question about the main cause of decline in profit, that seems to be that the bank has acquired. They have entered a less profitable market segment. Do we have any figure if this accounts for the whole decrease in profits? Do we have any specific figures?
We don't have any specific figures, but this is the main cause of it, and you've identified the cause right now. But what I want you to do is to tell me what to do in order to avoid loss in the following years. How should they turn around?
Okay. Can I have a few seconds to think about that?
All right, I think the CEO actually just walked through the room and wants an immediate update on the case. What do you say? What the bank should do?
Okay, so the main leverage point, why you are losing money, is that you entered a less profitable market segment, and in order to turn this development, I would recommend either leaving the market segment entirely and to sell off the branch, or turn around the segment and look at competitors and the market structure, and if it's possible to be profitable in this market segment.
And would you have any specific recommendations? What should we do right now?
So in order to my recommendation is to leave the market segment, and I base that on so my recommendation is to leave the market segment because it's less profitable than the market segment that the bank was initially in, and in addition to that, it even drags the whole bank's profits down to negative. And what I would like to look further into is whether instead of leaving the segment, it could be turned into a positive revenue branch.
All right. Thank you. That's it.